Over the past 3 years, I've worked with hundreds of men and women to help them lose fat sustainably. As of recording this video, our clients have lost over 4,600 pounds. Here are the most common mistakes that people make on their fat loss journey. Hey, my name is Schuyler Diehm. My goal is to help get you in the best shape of your life, physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. So if you are not subscribed to the channel, make sure that you hit that subscribe button. And if at any point you're sick of doing outdated weight loss programs, diets, and you want something that's sustainable, I want you to go down below this video to apply for a complimentary consultation. On that call, we will map out exactly what you're struggling with, what your fat loss plan looks like, and talk about if working together could be a good fit. So what are the most common mistakes that people make when they are trying to lose fat? I've got 5 things for you today. Number 1 is focusing more on weight loss instead of fat loss. Now hear me out. When people typically ask me, how do I lose weight? What's the quickest way to lose weight? My answer is chop off your leg.
What did he say?
You chop off your leg, you're gonna lose a lot of weight very quickly, right? And the point of that answer is to show the distinction between weight loss versus what people actually want, which is fat loss. Look, if you weigh in and you've lost 3 pounds in a week, it doesn't necessarily mean that those 3 pounds are body fat. The number on the scale is comprised of many different things. Body fat, yes. Muscle, bone, blood, water, lots of other things that comprise your body. And so what people tend to do is chase that number on the scale, along the way forgetting that the goal isn't just seeing the lowest number possible. It's about how do I get rid of the most amount of body fat as part of that number. This makes a significant difference in how you actually approach fat loss versus weight loss. Instead of focusing just on doing the things that cut down that number, it requires you to learn, what does it take to actually lose fat? What is a sustainable strategy to help you lose fat, not just weight? That brings me to number 2, which is not a sustainable strategy, which is eating as little as possible. This is something many of our clients struggle with coming into our program, is being conditioned by diet culture that they have to eat like a rabbit, they have to leave most of their meals hungry, and that if they eat until they're full, it's a pretty sure sign that they're not going to lose fat. And this could not be further from the truth. Our body is an incredible machine, and when you feed it what it uses, what it can actually use to run processes, to have energy, to lift heavy weights, you can actually eat to an extent where you are full and you are losing fat along the way. What typically happens if you eat as little as possible is, yeah, you're going to eat way less calories and your weight is going to start to drop. But along the way, your metabolism is also going to slow down, and you're going to hit a breaking point where you're burning minimal calories naturally. And when you're not eating a lot already, it's very hard to go anywhere else from that. So what you're going to typically find is that if you eat very little, you're going to plateau very quickly. You're going to be dealing with a lot of hunger, and it just makes it very unsustainable, very hard to keep up with. So again, instead of eating less or eating as little as possible, eat real foods that are going to fuel you and sustain you and help you burn fat along the way. The third mistake I tend to see people make is thinking that there is a correlation between the more effort that you put in, the more fat loss is going to come from it. This inevitably leads you to do unsustainable things, to eat less, which takes more work, to do long cardio sessions, long boot camp classes, HIIT workouts, hard workouts that beat down your body and ultimately leave you exhausted by the end of the day. The real secret to fat loss is finding your minimum effective dose, which is what is the least amount of effort that I can put in to get the best results. And in many, many cases, putting in less effort is actually going to get you more results. For example, someone can go out and think that doing something like running, which can be extremely difficult, extremely energy intensive, can help you burn more fat. And while it can help you burn more calories in the moment because you're working harder, you're sweating, your heart rate's up, it not only can increase the hormone cortisol, which is going to help increase your appetite, but it's also going to cause your body to be more likely to hold on to belly fat and to burn muscle instead. So a lot of times just getting out of that cycle of thinking that fat loss has to be a daily battle and a daily fight can be a huge success step towards seeing better results. The fourth mistake I see people making is focusing more on the external transformation rather than the internal transformation. Look, if you do not have the external results that you want, it is not because you're not trying hard enough. It's not because you need to put in more effort. work. It's because you need to focus on an internal transformation, right? If you go to food every time you're stressed, it's not just about using willpower not to go to food when you're stressed. It's about building yourself into a person who can handle stress more. If you are doing everything that you think is right and it's not working, it doesn't require you to try harder. It requires you to be more intentional about what you're actually doing. Where most people fail is if they struggle, they try harder, and that's their answer, rather than taking a look at what is the internal quality that I must build to get better results. How do I build more discipline? How do I focus on stress management? How do I focus on consistency, positive self-talk? If you can focus more on building these internal qualities and your internal identity over just chasing the number on the scale or just looking for the external results, it will massively change things for you. And that brings me to number 5, which is ultimately just changing everything at once. Look, going back to those internal transformations and internal identity, if you are going from sitting on the couch, eating fast food multiple times a week, not putting much effort into your health, it is a terrible idea to go into 10,000 steps a day, weekly extended fasting, transferring over to the perfect diet, weight training 5 days a week. That is not going to be sustainable. You can sustain that for a week or two, but ultimately the motivation is going to fade away and the consistency is going to be much more difficult. We have to stop seeing fat loss as going from here to here and just making that leap immediately and trying to stay here as long as possible, and start going from we're here, what step can we take to get us a little bit closer to here? And when we stay consistent with that and we see some results, what other step can we take? Then other, then other, then other. True identity shift comes from those tiny, sustainable habit changes. It doesn't come from overhauling your entire lifestyle overnight. Most people are not cut out for that. And so rather than focusing on just how can I get the quickest results, how can I swap over to my new lifestyle, my new diet as quick as possible, how do I make this sustainable? If you take these qualities and you find a sustainable fat loss plan that works, you find the nutrition shifts that feel good for you, that allow you to still enjoy the foods you eat, you find a simple way to put yourself in a calorie deficit, which is how you actually burn fat, you find a way to move your body in a way that you love, that's going to be sustainable, that's going to help you feel good, that's going to help your body respond positively, you will be shocked at how quick the transformation can actually happen. How quick when you go slow, right? Slow is smooth, smooth is fast. We're not trying to get to that number as fast as possible. We're trying to go slow enough so that it's sustainable, so that it lasts long term. And again, if you are looking for help, this is exactly what we do. We've helped hundreds of men and women. Our clients have lost over 4,600 pounds. So if you are looking for support, or you just want to chat and see if it's a good fit, head down below this video. There should be a link to grab a complimentary consultation. But with that said, I want to thank you so much for watching this video. I truly hope you find the healthiest and happiest version of yourself. And of course, as always, make sure to eat smart, move more, sleep deep, and be grateful for this moment. I'll see you in the next video.